What is up, Wolverine Nation? Major addition to the 2026 class, getting elite four-star quarterback Brady Hart from the Sunshine State. We got a big one, boys. I mean, this is a serious player to the class. This is going to be not only a momentum builder for the 26 class, but I also feel this helps the 25 class. As we can see here, the composite has him as number 2 nationally, number 7 quarterback for the position. 247 is a little lower on him, but I want to stress sophomore rankings, 26th class, are extremely inaccurate. And also, majority of the analysts are focusing obviously on the 25 class. So I wouldn't put too much stock into the rankings where they are right now because these will adjust. They're very fluid. I do expect Brady Hart to be a 5-star quarterback, and if not a 5-star quarterback, top 50 minimally. We have a very elite prospect here, boys. So let's pull up his huddle tape and see what we have and what we're working with. If you guys have been following the show, you will know that we've been talking about Brady Hart for a few weeks now. This was not something that wasn't on our radar. We brought this to everyone's attention. We brought up the Trevor Lawrence comparisons, and Clemson also took that angle when he was on their visit over the weekend. And as you could see with his mechanics and his mannerism, being able to throw on the run, throwing dimes, he has the ability to hit all levels of the field, short, intermediate, deep balls. Look at the ball placement. One of the things I really like about Brady Hart is not only his height, he's 6'5", and a sophomore, so he's going to grow into his frame. But you can just see the power that his body can create, the torque he has when he throws the ball. You know, I've seen some people say, is his arm elite? Does he generate enough power? Absolutely, he generates enough power. And you also have to remember, this kid is a sophomore. He's going to play his junior year. He's going to play his senior year, and he's going to get into college, and he's going to hit the strength and conditioning program. He's only going to get better. What you are seeing now is simply something in its infancy stage. He's going to grow. He's going to develop. He's only going to get better. I'm extremely high on this prospect. I think what we have here is a player that secures Michigan's long-term outlook at the quarterback position, because we now have a QB room of Jaden Davis, Carter Smith, and now Brady Hart. And as Ferris brought up, and we touched on last night's live show, if anybody was watching, we now are in a good spot for the next 5 years at the quarterback position, which is the most important position on the field. And not only that, Brady Hart is the type of quarterback that we can now expand the offense with. Okay, it's not just power run, but it will remain power run. But my point being is the playbook can now evolve. We can now be a more aggressive team with a more aggressive air attack. That's the type of player we have here. And Kirk Campbell has been on record saying, given the player personnel, we will evolve the playbook. And I do know, as I've gotten it confirmed, and it's also publicly been stated, they do want to be more aggressive through the air, but they also will remain true to their identity. So, I think grabbing players like this was QB1 on Michigan's board, which is huge. They were looking at 3 quarterbacks. The other quarterbacks were Brady Smeagol and Troy Hunt. They reached out to both of those quarterbacks and let them know that Brady Hart is their quarterback, and they found their guy. So this is just a huge addition. And then also to hit on his stats last year as a sophomore in the toughest league in Florida, which is one of the most in terms of like strength of competition, one of the toughest in the entire nation. He had 66% completion percentage, 3,759 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. We beat out Clemson and Ohio State for Brady Hart. I just couldn't be more thrilled for this addition to the class. I think, as we were looking at his tape, and I'm not necessarily breaking it down play by play as I should be, but I'm just, he has some mobility. We can see this. Look at this. He does not need to be a burner, but he does need to keep a defense honest if they do, if the opportunity presents itself, or if a pass rusher over pursues, right? And that's what Brady Hart can do. As we can see, we'll watch some more of his tape here. He's analyzing the field, and he hits his guy, right? So he's going to, I'd like to see the ball placed a little bit better, but again, this is high school, and he has plenty of tape on here where the ball is placed really well. But, I just think that we're getting a very well-rounded quarterback. He's able to make plays with his legs, as we can see here. He's obviously not going to be a burner, but as long as he can keep a defense honest in terms of not overcommitting to the pass. And let's be honest, too, our run game will make a defense not be able to sell out in the pass. They're going to have to respect our run game. So it really is just a really good match for Michigan. Look at him able to elude the pressure there and make a play with his feet. I mean, this is a sophomore, guys. Like, having the football IQ to be able to make these types of decisions, when to run, when to throw it. You know, I really think we got a good one here, boys, and it's something we can all get excited for. And as we've discussed on our show, recruiting, the momentum, things are picking up, and let's keep that rolling. So, all right, let's take a look at the 26 class right now, and where are we? And obviously, Brady Hart is the first addition to this class. Now, there is some talk and some buzz that the 2026 class, they're going to be swinging for the fences. They want to have an elite recruiting class for 2026. That doesn't mean they don't want an extremely good class for 2025, but what it does mean, and we are all aware of this, everyone paying attention to Michigan recruiting, 2025 got to a bit of a lethargic start because the coaching turnover, and then Sherrone Moore had to get his coaching staff in place. And then not only that, he had to get his recruiting department and his NIL structure and everything put in place to where Michigan can now be a more aggressive, competitive team, and not only recruiting philosophy, but NIL philosophy. And also the settlement that has occurred with NCAA, and then also the future revenue sharing, has helped Michigan feel more comfortable being in a position where they are able to compensate players without being concerned of being looked at under a microscope. So this is great news. Again, like, just the news keeps going. I expect this class to fill out. There's already a lot of skilled players who it's gotten their attention that Brady Hart is now committed to the class. We will see what that means. I do, as I said, I do think what it means is 2026 is going to be an extremely fun year to cover for recruiting. And also 2025 is only going to keep climbing. So let's see what the class ends up. I have talked about recently, and I also put in some locks on the show last night for players like Philip Wright, Andrew Olish, and Hardy Watts to commit to the class. They're going to be visiting on Victor's Weekend this weekend. There's going to be more. Maxwell Roy's another one I have a lock in for. So again, this weekend's going to be huge. More momentum out of the weekend. 2026 class, I have spoken on. I'm not the biggest in covering a class that's ahead, like a 2026 class in comparison to 2025. But what I will cover is players who commit and quarterback commits. And this checks both those boxes. Also, I will say, though, I'm going to be a little bit more attentive to the 26 class now that Brady Hart's in the fold, because him committing early, I want to stress this, helps build momentum, and you now have a face and a cornerstone to help build this class, similar to what JJ was able to do for his class, the same class that helped win us a national championship. That's the type of momentum we have that we should be able to build with the 2026 class. It'll be fun to watch. We will have that covered at Michigan Football, at the Voice of College Football. And the last thing that I will show, and I've had some compliments on this, and I appreciate the compliments and the feedback. Let's take a look at the 2026 depth chart. And I'm sure, as you're aware, there's not a lot to it yet, but let's take a look anyways. So this is what we're looking at. This is going to be our 2026 class. We will track this. We have Brady Hart at quarterback, which is the most important position. As we gain commits, we will add to this. So this way everyone can look at where we are for the class, how does it shake out, and where are our weaknesses, where are our strengths. And then it'll also give us a good visual for the approach Michigan is taking. And I'll share this right here. I have the 25 class also here. So as you can see, Michigan is building from the trenches out. I do expect some offensive lineman commitments very shortly. And Michigan's doing it the way Michigan does it, man. And that's in the trenches. It's the power run game. It's the aggressive defense. And the great news is, boys, Michigan should, with their new aggressive recruiting philosophy and NIL approach, be able to maintain an elite level of play in the new expanded Big Ten. Thank you for watching. Brady Hart, thank you for joining the class. Sherrone Moore, hats off. Kirk Campbell, hats off. and Michigan. Job well done. Let's get it, boys. Thursday night show. We're doing the call-in show tomorrow. Thursday night, 8 p.m. I will be hitting on official visits with Ferris Khan. He's going to be joining me as the guest. Come check it out. Come join the show. Be a YouTube member. We are on all podcast platforms. We are working on Apple. We'll get there. We also just created Twitch. So if you have a Twitch, give us a follow. Our goal right now is 50 followers on Twitch so we can get that thing rolling. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Go Blue.